the Bates Motel and the house is on the Universal backlot. I think that it was on one studio lot, and then this is the first movie where it's the same set, but they changed location. It was on a different lot.
The first three movies were all shot on the Universal backlot in California, which became a part of the Universal Studios tour.
Yeah, I've been there. Have you?
Not to the one in California. I've been to the one in Florida when they still had it.
Right. Me too, I think.
They don't have it anymore. They don't do any of that backlot stuff.
Oh.
But when they first opened Universal Studios, it's the same year. I think it was like the same year, 1990. Because I remember, God, it was all over Nickelodeon, you know, like there was all kinds of promotional stuff for it, what you could see on the tour. And it was like, yeah, and you can see the Bates Mansion and the Bates Motel. They built the set, you know, a copy of that set there in Florida and insisted on filming it there so that they could come out with a bang for the new studio tour and lots and an amusement park down there and give people something to see. So apparently people actually did get to see some of this being filmed while they were down there. And it's a shame that that doesn't happen anymore. None of that stuff happens anymore. You know, Disney built at the time it was called Disney MGM Studios, now it's Disney Hollywood Studios. That was built as kind of a rival to Universal's gig, and they both put a lot of effort into making it so that at any given time when you visit the amusement park, you might be able to see a movie being produced. And over the years, they realized that that didn't really matter anymore, and people didn't care. They would come anyway, and so they just started replacing them with rides, and that's no longer a thing.
Yeah, that's too bad. I enjoyed that stuff when I was a kid. I went on that studio tour. I think that I went to the one. I think I went to the one in Florida too, and I saw, and it was cool. Like the Bates Motel.
The Golden Girls house was there, dude.
The Golden Girls house. I was more excited about that.
Do you know when I worked there, and that would have been in 1999, the fall of 1999. I was there on the college program, and I worked at Disney MGM Studios. And at that time, the Backlots tour, I think it was still going, but it was a very limited version because they had already carved some of it out and stopped doing a few of those things. But there was this thing that up until I think this last year was still going on called the Osborne Family Lights. And I don't know, long story short, I think this family called the Osborne family in Florida had a bunch of lights, and they donated. They used to do big light shows on their street in their neighborhood, and it got to be too unwieldy, so they kind of donated them to Disney so that they could set them up every year. And where they set them up was on that backlot area where all those houses and things were. And so a couple nights during the fall when those lights were up and people were paying special admission to come to the park at night and tour those Osborne lights, I was literally standing there in those sets, like in front of the Golden Girls house and all that stuff.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, just kind of managing crowds and working a couple extra shifts for some extra money. It was a cool time. It's a shame that stuff's gone.
I agree with you. It is a shame that that's not really a thing anymore. I just have a vivid snapshot memory of being on like that open air multi-cart tram type vehicle going by the Golden Girls house. It was so exciting to me. It's my favorite show.
It's sort of like, Golden Girls house is to Craig as Olivia Hussey's breasts are to me. We're both getting very distinct memories right now.
It is. And you see her boobs. Like, look, this is such a funny movie. Everything that we're being shown and being told is from Norman's perspective. Perhaps if this movie were told from the mother's perspective, she wouldn't come across as a psychotic whore. Because maybe, I don't know, just throwing it out there, maybe Norman is the one who's crazy and screwed up. But this movie totally makes it like his mom totally him up. Like I said before, there's Oedipal shit going on, like he's getting boners for his mom all the time, and she eventually gets a boyfriend. He's also killing people. He's crazy. He's crazy.
Yeah.
and he narrates these murders, and it all ties back to his mommy issues, but like he's a good-looking guy and he can pull tail, but every time he does, he kills them. So like stop it. Stop it. Don't do it.
Now, did you know that Anthony Perkins himself had never slept with a woman until he was 39.
Well, I think he was gay.
Well,
So
I think
that
he
doesn't
was
really surprise me.
No, I think he was bisexual or pretty fluid actually, because he was
The
married.
internet will tell you he was bisexual because he did have relationships with women, but the fact that he didn't have
he was
sex
married.
with a woman until he was 39 suggests to me that he was probably gay.
And again, there's a difference sometimes between what people say in public and how they actually feel. But there was a quote also, where he had talked about, I don't remember when in life, maybe in the late 80s or early 90s, that he talked about not having had sex with a woman until he was 39. He had homosexual experiences before that, but he said that kind of sex always just felt very unfulfilling to him and kind of empty. And that when he met his wife, he just was absolutely in love with her. Again, you say one thing, you do other things. He had lots of trysts with men, but he was apparently really, really into his wife, and she was really into him up to the point when he died.